Quick mic check. 1, 2. There we go, that should be good. Alright, let's go ahead and bring the scene live. Hello everyone, hope everyone's doing well. Sorry I was not available yesterday. Was not feeling very well. Still a little off feeling, but should be good enough to handle the stream today. One of my problems was I had my throat swell up a bit, so it's going to be hard for me to do any talking. And out taking some things, and should be fine. So again, sorry I wasn't on yesterday. One of the things that we are planned for today is our historic Brawl tournament day. And for that I have set up a new deck. I was originally trying to play one of the other decks that we had set up that we haven't tried yet. Whether it was the Slimefoot or the Hacktos deck. But because of a certain viewer bringing up Kicker for a deck challenge to make for the historic or Explorer format, I figured I made that deck as part of the challenge, and I haven't had a chance to show it off yet. But it also got me inspired to try to build a Kicker style deck for the tournament as well. So for that, I have made this deck. I still need to double check all the cards, make sure everything looks good here. I still need to fix the lands, obviously. But this is what I was able to come up with for a quick deck idea off the top of my head when I was coming up with the deck for Verazol the Split Current. Now, Verazol the Split Current has a nice ability that it comes into play with +1/+1 counter on it for each mana spent to cast it. So this means it doesn't matter whatever the X is we pay, it's whatever mana is actually spent into it. So every time it gets attacked by an extra 2 for going back to our command zone, it will still get extra +1/+1 counters put onto it outside of the usual X value, because it's going to be based off the amount of mana spent. So that means even if we spend X2, a blue and a green, and we had to like cast it twice for an extra 4 mana, we'd still get a total of 8 counters put on this. So I think this could be an interesting card to build around and one to try it out. Okay. So if you'd give me a moment to quickly fix the lands here, I'll get into a more detailed discussion on how this is going to work out. Sorry I hadn't managed to get this taken care of. Let's see. Is that really all the blue-green lands? So yeah, I'm missing that one. What does this do again? At the beginning of combat on your turn, put X++1 counters on target creature. Has 3 more counters, transform it. Because gets flying, and +X/+X and so where X is its power. Oh shoot, that'd be amazing for the deck. I don't have many rare crafts, I only have one. I mean, this seems too good not to use in the deck. So let me add that in. Gonna need to do quite a bit of trimming here. And let's see, what colorless options do we have? I don't know if that's going to be useful or not, but I guess we can include one of those. A blast zone's not bad. Maybe an emergence zone. Karn's Bastion actually can work in the deck. Outside of that, I don't think I really want any more lands. Oh, there is a spell land I forgot to include. Seagate. And won't hurt to have the creature land. So that should really do that. Alright, let me make some quick trim adjustments. Some of it's just going to be trimming lands here. Let's see. 46 lands. Yeah, I don't think I need Shaper Sanctuary. Take Shaper Sanctuary out just because most of our deck isn't really creatures. It's basically a lot of spells with kicker, and while there are some creatures in the deck, most of them aren't really too worried about. Like, they won't target our stuff. It's that way we draw if we have Kira in the deck anyways. But I mean, that's just doubling up on protection. I was wondering if this Sword of Body and Mind is going to be really useful or not. I figure protection from blue and green means that you have an answer to a lot of deck types. But the abilities on this aren't really that amazing. And if we come across someone who plays stuff from their graveyard, then we don't really want to mill them. Potentially help our opponent by doing that. do you work again? We have to cast artifact, instant, or sorcery spells. Give kicks. Alright. We definitely have lots of instant and sorceries in the form of the kicker cards. We have really just the Brazen Borrower as our only adventure card. Maybe we can take out the Regrowth? Double check our lands. 2 spells here. Only 26 creatures, 16 instants, 6 sorceries, 6 artifacts, enchantments, 4 planeswalkers, 44 lands. Trim 2 more lands. And we'll trim... Password Surge is probably our least impressive of our kicked spells, but we mainly want to play this just because it gets us 2 lands from our deck to play. Still trying to figure out if Leer is going to be worthwhile or not. We use a lot of counter magic to protect our board, and let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 counter magics. But we have lots of bounce magics that we can replay with Leer. So I think it's still worthwhile leaving it in. Any suggestions from chat on what we should try to maybe add or cut here? Maybe we don't need the Basilisk Collar, but I really like the Death Touch Lifelink to sustain us, especially considering we just apply this to the Split Current. And regardless of how large it is, it's just going to spike us up on life. It also turns all of our early mana dorks into things that actually can trade against anything, so not a bad thing. I'll tell you what, we'll cut a Sock Coming. For now. We'll try to run the deck like this. So, if you're not familiar with Verazol Split Current, when we cast it, it's going to come into play with X plus 1 plus 1 counters for each mana spent, and then we can, whenever we cast a kicked spell, we may remove 2 counters from it, and we'll be able to copy it and choose new targets. If a copy happens to be a permanent spell, we get an extra token from it. So that means if we, say, kick a Untamed Kavu, for example, we will get 2 copies of this to the board, and I think they'll both be considered kicked, so they'll both come to play as 5/5 creatures with Vigilance and Trample. So that's one of the powers of Verazol. But the other thing that's great about this, it's like if we do an Into the Royal, we kick this. We return a non-land permanent to owner's hand, then we get to draw a card if it was kicked. That means that we could draw 2 cards off this. The only downside is to copy the spell, we have to kick it, meaning we have to pay the extra cost. So it can sometimes be a little steep in order to do that. After all, some of our kicked spells are going to be like Vastwood Surge here, where it'll put 2 +1/+1 counters on each creature we control. So if we can pay the kicker cost, we effectively get a free duplicate off of pulling the 2 counters off of Verazol, because it'll put the 2 counters back onto it. Now, it also is going to be a huge amount of ramp, but at that point, we're just deck thinning lands because we want to be able to keep recasting Verazol, or we are going with the idea that we're just trying to find other action out of our deck. The way to try to get to the point of the deck, we run a lot of ramp cards, so we run the Mana Dorks, Visionary, or Mystic, the Llanowar Elves, we run an Incubation Druid, things like that, to help us play early creatures to ramp up. And we also have cards that search for lands from our deck, like Grow from the Ashes, Vastwood Search. That way we can get the lands from the deck to play. And we play it, so that way we can keep replaying this as a huge monster. If it gets removed, we replay it. It'll have the same amount of counters, if not more, than what it had before. And when we go for controlling the board, we have the ability to bounce our opponent's things back to their hand with Blink of an Eye, into the Royal, things like that. And then we just use a lot of counterspell magic to keep our opponent off the board. The few creatures that we do run, a number of them are kicker creatures, like Untamed Kavu, like I mentioned earlier. But we also have Marasa Sproutlings, that if we kick this, we get to return a copy of a kicker card from our graveyard back to our hand. We have the Crushing Druid, which will just gain us 10 life. And let's see, there was one other kicker creature that was useful, and I'm trying to find it. That's right, it's the Gnarlid Colony, which this was particularly useful to us because if we do kick this, not only does it become a 6/6, right, because it enters battlefield 4 counters on it, but each creature we control with a +1/+2 counter gains trample, meaning that Verazol actually becomes a much larger threat because it doesn't have anything like trample flying to help us push the damage through. So that in itself is very useful. Now for a card that has kicker that we're not worried about duplicating, we are running Slim Vada, the Rising Deep. And this card is particularly useful to us because it allows us to bounce everything back to the owner's hands, with the exception of Merfolk, Krakens, Leviathans, Octopuses, and Serpents. Now, that's useful because our main creature is a Serpent. So, in the late game, if we draw this, we play it out there, we kick it. We don't have to copy it, but if we do, we still get another 8/8. But the thing is, that means that our Split Current won't go back to our hand, so we can actually punch in for a large hit more than likely. Unless our opponent has one of those named things on the board. Other late game threats we have Coma, Cosmos Serpent, and we have Jin Cataxis, which allows us to duplicate our instants and sorceries, and a couple artifacts, which could be relevant. Other late game options that we have that are going to be useful are our Planeswalkers, Nissa, Vivian Reed, and Vivian Monsters Advocate. Now, Advocate's great because it allows us to keep generating threats to the board, and also play creatures off the top at any time. Vivian Reed's particularly good because we can use it to destroy artifacts, enchantments, or creatures. That's the main, or creatures with flying, which is the main reason we have it in the deck. The +1 to be able to look at the top 4 cards, reveal a creature or land among them. It's nice, but we're mainly using this because we snipe down artifacts, all those support cards that our opponent may be using. And last but not least, we do have Leer in the deck, so that way we can replay our spells and get lots of value against our opponent. In the mid-game part, we have just a lot of ramp options, and we have other counter spells and draws. So, I guess the best thing we can do is just jump into some games and see how well this actually performs. We'll get some testing in before the tournament begins, and see if we need to make any adjustments. Hope everyone's been having a nice day. Let's see, so Historic Brawl, Verazol. Now, I'll be honest, I haven't ever seen anyone try playing Verazol. I imagine it's not a bad commander. Hopefully I do some justice for this commander. Oh, I just realized I probably should include Vorniclex into the deck. Yeah, that's something to think about. Alright, on the open, we don't have any of our ramp, but I forget how their opponent's card works. Behavior end step, exile top card of your library until the end of your next turn. You may play that card. And if you play a card from exile, create a treasure. Okay. Alright, I think we'll go ahead and give this a try. We'll start with the green source, because I think I'm going to line up a shot and turn it into a naturalize. I imagine our opponent runs a lot of artificial mana sources. Let's see, how does this one work? We have to block this in order to generate treasures, right? Yeah. Alright, line up a shot. We'll conjure naturalize. Go for the blue source, pass it back. Now we have both Blink an Eye and Naturalize available to us. Going to just pass it back. I'm not going to play Skyclave Relic right now. That way we can maybe catch the opponent going for their commander and using Tail's End. I mean, we are representing counterspell magic here, so they may not put it to the board. Whenever deals combat damage to a player, create a treasure token. Okay. Let's go for the Harbor. Let's go for Simulacrum. Trying to get a little aggressive on this board state now. The 2/2 bombing will keep them from being able to attack it with Big Spender. Unless they're willing to trade it. I'm fine with the idea of not holding up Tail's End this turn because we can just bounce the legendary back to the hand. And then we can follow it up with a Tail's End to counterspell. We will block to kill the Big Spender. Alright, we basically, you know, deny them the treasure that way. Alright, let's see here. Do I just kick this? You know, I'm going to get greedy. I'm just going to kick this. Pass the turn. It's just a lot of mana that we get. One, two, three, four, five, six, 7. So we actually could play Jin Cataxis and hold up mana for a Brazen Borrower bounce. That could be pretty good. How's that worded? Whenever you play a card from Exiled. Alright. So it's not only by its own ability. Alright. Go for putting Jin Cataxis to the board. Pass it back. Now here's the fun thing. The first spell that they cast, if it's an artifact, instant, or sorcery, will be countered by Jin Cataxis. Resolve. Block the Big Spender. see, they have to sacrifice 2 to draft a card. Okay. Let's let that resolve. Let's go for the bounce right now. We will bounce and bounce. Let's see, if we go for this, how much do we want to do to X? X of just, let's see, 1, 2, 3, yeah, X2. Alright, and you know what, I don't think we're actually going to be playing this for the draw. We'll just put that to the board and pass. Let that resolve. Okay. I'm just going to come in with everything. We'll kick Blink of an Eye. And we'll take the action, pull 2 counters. Put this back in the hand. And we'll also put Facebreaker back in the hand. That way the opponent's denied a lot of their card value. Block here. Take the action. So that way they don't get it with the Draugr Necromancer. Yeah, it's actually working out really well. I mean, we're low on life, but I feel like we aren't really in too much danger here. Let's see here. Thinking what to play. Go for the Mystic. Go for Adversary. Paradise Druid. We'll tack in for 5. Start putting some pressure on the opponent. At this point, I'm going to plan on using Tail's End and the Naturalize against them. Just double make sure that that is counterspelled. Yep, Facebreaker. Alright, so we're not using Naturalize because I don't really feel like I need to destroy a treasure there. Block here. They can have our Mystic Elf. Okay. Let's bring this back. See if we go 6. Might as well go all in for the 7, right? Actually, let's go for just 5. No, let's go for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. This way we can flash in Brazen Borrower. Gives us a really strong attack next turn. Because now we can use Vastwood Surge during our turn. We can double it up by pulling counters off of the current. Now we won't be attacking with Jin Kataxis during our opponent's turn. Block like so. Now, just a reminder, Jin Kataxis is going to stop our opponent from being able to... Oh, okay. A Binding Palm Ninja. I don't think they're going to take Vastwood Surge from my hand, so... I'm fine with this. Actually, we do actually attack in with Jin Kataxis because... Oh, they do actually take our Surge. They do know what's coming to happen if they let us have that. Alright, Brazen Borrower to the board. Yep, they scoop it up. So I was going to use Timeless Witness. Because this allows us to return target card from our graveyard to our hand. I was going to just simply get back Blink of an Eye and bounce their only blocker attack in. And, I mean, I didn't need to bounce it because we had more than enough to be lethal, but I figure make sure there was no... there actually wasn't anyway because we could see their whole hand. But nonetheless, that would have been still... It was a nice show of the deck. I do think that was great. I might have played things a little too passively early on, but I wasn't sure how well some of the cards were going to interact. Shalai deck. Interesting. Well, it seems like a keepable hand, especially against Shalai, because we can Broken Wings destroy it, make him recast it. Incubation Druid's great just because it is a solid ramp card. Alright, Soul Warden for our opponent. There's a fun little spell. If we actually kick this, we actually can lock down 2 creatures with it. And that's just rude. Alright, we'll foretell this, and we will play this for land. X2. I think a 4/4 is good enough. Alright. Well, we gained 4 life. Where's our ramp? We'd like our ramp. Oh, there's our ramp. But before that, kill this. Make him replay it. See, how does this one work again? Search the library for a basic land, put it onto the battlefield. If it was kicked, you do it twice. Awesome. Would have been great if we could have had this on the board, just to be able to get that many more extra lands out there. Incubation Druid for our opponent. Go ahead and kick this. And she'll be the opponent's turn. Just a turn late. Alright, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Means we do X4. Have ourselves an 8-8. Sadly, the Bubble Snare can only now affect Shalai. Our opponent's just going to go all in on the counters right now. Let's see here. Go for an all-runs. Give the opponent some life there, but put some pressure. Gonna hold on to Bubble Snare for right now. Alright, go for another attack. We will kick the Druid. I'll take the action so that way we gain ourselves 20 life here. And we'll go ahead and use the Bubble Snare. Tie up the Shalai so that way it can't untap. It can still activate its ability to put a +1/+1 counter on each of their creatures. I will pack to negate that. I'll pay 5 during my turn so that way you do not have a Righteous Valkyrie. Alright, well that would have been probably the better spell to counter. Because every time they gain, was it 4 life? Yeah, just 4 life. They'll get themselves a 4/4 token. So they attack in with this, get 4 life, get themselves a 4/4 Angel, which gives them extra life, so they gain 5 life. We are not winning that speed of a race. Yeah, the opponent definitely got me with that that play there. Hopefully we can get something to help us out here. Unfortunately, with Shalai on the board, we can't use our bounce spells to deal with the their creatures at all. Okay. That says our opponent's just going to gain a ridiculous amount of life. I don't know why I let that resolve. I had the mana for Wash Away. Attack. See what we do. I accidentally clicked through and let them resolve this Angel Destiny. That should have been counterspelled by Wash Away. Because that gives them a ridiculous amount of life whenever they hit us. Yep. Yeah, you know, I'm just gonna go ahead and scoop it up. They'll win that. I kind of zoned out on Angel of Destiny and really should not have. I do apologize. Should have been on the ball more. I feel like if I had counterspelled that, we still would not have been in a good position. And I don't think I wanted to let the Valkyrie resolve anyways. So it's not like I felt like I'd counterspelled a bad target. But ever since they resolved that second Angel after Valkyrie, it was bad times. Alright, on the open. I'm a little worried about this hand in all honesty. But we'll try keeping it. Nice thing about this is, for 1 blue mana, we can protect our creatures from burn spells a lot of times. But it's only 1 extra of any color to kick it, to protect it from anything. Alright, Signet for our opponent. Both have a little ramp going on. I think we'll go ahead and go for the 4/4. Alright. We have Tail's End to counterspell their commander if they go for it. Let's see. Put that on the board. Attack in. I think our better play is probably just to use Into the Royal. Bounce it, make them replay it. Wait, how much? Ward 2? Oh, okay, so we gotta go to our turn. Then everything what I said was just a bad idea. Alright. Yeah, no, that was just a bad idea to let them have that, get that resolved. I forgot they had Ward 2 on the card. Was an awkward Nissa, no basics. This is a cast trigger, right? No, enter battlefield. We could stop that. See, so we can use Memory Deluge, get some cards, and hold up Dissipate. Pass it back. Yep, you can have that. Gonna counterspell that. Because I don't need them having 2 of those. Because what it does is the tokens it makes are non-legendary. And I forgot to tap the elf for mana, so I don't get a Memory Deluge. Oh no, I had to double tap blue anyway, so... Kinda... SOL either way on that. Attack here. Go for Coma. Potentially get punished because I didn't hold up Shell Shield, but I don't think that's going to be an issue. Now, it's going to be very hard for our opponent to actually kill off our Coma. My problem is worrying that they just generate enough threats in the air that Coma doesn't do enough. Yes, that is a prime example of what I'm worried about. So, if we do damage, of course we draw the counterspell a turn late. If we do damage to the Wrathful Red Dragons, they do double that damage back to us. So I'm trying to think, how do we survive here? I'll attack. Because I can give Coma Indestructible by sacrificing one of these. So, Coma gains Indestructible. Sacrifice Serpent. They'll get to do 12 damage anywhere. Of course, I go for our face. Now, this has... Why did it look like I had ward? Alright, so tap a permanent. Sacrifice. One, two. Tap a permanent. Yes. Resolve autopay. Tail's End. Get rid of this. And we finish off with a Disdainful Stroke. Alright, there we go. So even though they wash away our counterspell, we still get rid of the threat. Let's see. Try to think, is there something we can do here? We could Shell Shield, pull the 2 counters, just that way we can recast this. Well, I think we're still going to leave it around. Attack with both. Oh, whoops. Yeah. Good game. I was not thinking there. I couldn't get around their blocker. So we were dead anyways, yeah. I kind of zoned out again. I'm just still not 100% here today. Well, it's a good idea to try to get these practices in before the tournament begins. We still have another hour. I think the deck works really well. I'm just a little off on my gameplay. I'm not making the best decisions. Alright. I think we can actually keep this. How does this even work? When it enters the battlefield, draft a card. The spellbook twice. Put one of those cards onto the battlefield. See, at the beginning of your upkeep, each opponent loses 2 life. You gain 2 life. At the beginning of each upkeep, each opponent discards a card. There's too many things on that. All right. We'll just start off with the scry, and is that an ETB? Enters battlefield, yeah. I think we'll put this on the bottom then. We'll put this on the board. I'm not going to pay for the reveal. There's no need to show our opponent. Fortunately, our opponent has the ramp plan ahead of us. Put Lucamina onto the board. So yeah, when this enters the battlefield, if you cast it, you're going to seek a land type, a basic land. Unfortunately, it wasn't a forced. Okay, there's a forest. Go for Simulacrum. Another forest to board. I'm confused. Why were there so many of them that came out? I'm legitimately confused how this card works. When it enters the battlefield, draft a card from the Hourglass Spellbook twice. Then put those cards onto the battlefield. Oh. Oh, okay, I see how it works. I see how it works now. Block here. That is a bunch of weird nonsense on that card. So 6. I still can't math. Oh, man, yep. I do not know how I'm going to do during the tournament because my head's just so fuzzy. What do you do? At the beginning of upkeep, each opponent mills 5 cards and exile each opponent's graveyard. Well, it's a good thing they milled the Leer, because Leer's useless with that on the board. We just take the 3 here, because if we block it, they just recast it, get more of these hags to the board. Grey Merchant does a ton of damage to us. Let's see what happens if we attack in. In all honesty, the opponent could just take it with how much life they have. But I suppose getting more treasure never hurts, right? Go for the all runs. I forgot we don't get the bird tokens because this is regular Historic Brawl, not the tournament that we participate in. So I can't just play it from hand, I would have to set it up. Right, Visionary to board. Specialize here. Give up, dissipate. This can't untap. hard to see what you lose because of just how it orders itself. Alright. Mirror Construct, not very useful against them. Shame to lose Blink of an Eye because casting it on those would have been a decent thing. Because they are at upkeep triggers, so I could have just, you know, saved us some life. And that's game because Gray Merchant. Yep. It was one of those things, it's if we didn't counterspell that, we were dead because they could just attack in, and all we had was this 2-2. And we die on their upkeep. So it was a lose-lose situation there. But oh man, I'm forgetting how I have to pay attention to the historic nature of the actual cards. Because like I said, when we participate in the tournament, it gets challenged as friendly brawl. So we don't actually use the historic variants of the cards, or the alchemy variants. We use the base card. So like Lear, for example, we can play the spells at any time. Alright. I'll go ahead and hit Mulligan. It's kind of awkward because we have basically double Naturalize here, but we'll lead with the Lair. Pass it back. You know what, I might as well just go for this. It's just an early beater. Destroy Fable. Adversary attack in. Okay. They get a search for a land, but if they attack with that, we can trade with our Death Toucher. We're okay with that. Alright. How do you work again? Exile top 10 card, top card of your library until you exile a non-land permanent. Put that card onto the battlefield or into your hand. Let's see. I'm actually a blue short. Because I can't use Castle Garenbrig without having an extra mana to play this, because it actually needs one more mana. I guess we can just do an X3 still. We'll attack with this. Attempt to get a card draw off of it. Opponent was gracious enough to provide it. So, let's see, this is a 6/6 flying trample creature. If they do go for that, we can line up a shot and go for Plummet to destroy the flying creature. And opponent scoops it up. I guess they missed land. And the destruction of Fable really hurt them then for being able to discard find their lands. Well, that works out. Try and figure out what we might be able to do to help upgrade this deck. If you have any suggestions, I'm more than ready to hear them. Because we still have another 40 minutes roughly before we have to be ready for the tournament. I can't return the nature back in the hand again. Against Yova? I don't think Return to Nature is going to be very useful against this opponent. Could be wrong. I'll still keep it. Look at the fact we have Lanor Elf, so we have turn 1 ramp. I don't think we play this on turn 3. I think or turn 2. I think we play on turn 3. Because this is a 4/4. Seems still fine. But then again, Solemn Simulacrum says we could play this turn 4 as a 6/6. So I think that's good. Oh, we actually do have a target for it. That's good. Let's just stay on curve. Now, question is double green or double blue? I think I'm gonna go for the double blue because we have a lot of double blue spells. We have some double green, but I think we have more double blue. And again, I should have said that it's like should have gone to green because we have this that we could play. Alright. Pay 3 life. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So X is 4 actually. Alright. X is 7. And we have just the X beater plan going on here. Alright, we trade against the Simulacrum, which gives us a card draw. We have Bubble Snare ready to be able to be thrown out to tap down something. And if we kick it, we can tap down 2 somethings. Go ahead and do the reveal. Go for Vivian. Basilic color on top. Trample. We send the damage and pass it back. The opponent needs what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Any permanent on the board gives them the ability to use Swordtooth as a creature. Alright, they get it. Thanks to this Basilic Collar, though, we can just attach it to the Stonecoil Serpent, and it being Death Touch and Trample means we'll have to set up a number of blockers equal to the amount of damage in order to actually stomp it all. Alright, Ashaya for our opponent. And a Fertilid. Alright, opponent does get a lot of value off of what they did. Because they can actually tap these, remove the counter at any time, and get themselves another life, another land in play. Serves as basically another card draw. So, land for turn, kick, bubble snare, target 1, take action, target 2, play the collar, apply the collar, and send the damage. I think that's a worthwhile GG moment. Because even if they block, that's 3. They block there, that's still them going down to 2. I will be impressed if the opponent manages to pull themselves out of this. Because Tatyova now costs them 7 mana to play, because of the extra 2. While they can play it, they won't necessarily be able to play any other spells. And with this having protection from multicolor, does mean that there's a number of cards that can't really interact with it. But it could get still hit by bounce, or something of that nature. They can't even block with that. We'll give them a nice for the effort. But we'll send this in, because these are blue-green cards. They can't block Stonecoil Serpent, because it's protection from multicolored. That's not even assuming the Death Touch Death Touch Trample combo issue. There we go. Sorry, I ended up getting a text. Let me just. Oh, all right. I'll have to respond to them soon. We'll go ahead and go for one more game, and we'll see if we want to make any adjustments after that. I'll have to do that in a little bit. Can't do it right now. It takes too long to respond to that one. Alright, on the open, very slow looking hand against a Jetmir deck. Jetmir uses a lot of token generating cards. I think I might want to keep this just because Negate Broken Wings might be very good against them, so we'll keep it. And just land pass. Opponent's turn. Black Market Tycoon. Alright, interesting. Put Detection Tower on the board, pass. Hit that with a negate. X2. Now, when we go to play this, we can pull 2 counters and get ourselves 2 5/5s. So that seems pretty good. That's also pretty good. Alright, take action. Let's see, what does this do on the other side? Whenever it attacks or as your battlefield attacks, so it gets the or attacks part to it. So we use Broken Wings during our turn, get rid of the rousing. I think we will, yeah, Broken Wings. Get rid of this. Go for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That means next land, go saves you next turn, allows us to kick the construct. And then we would get 1, 2, 3, 2, 7, 7 constructs that they become targeted by a spell. We'll have to sacrifice to get that many 1/1 tokens. We are in trouble for Jetmir hitting the board right now, because if it lands, all their cards are going to have double strike and all the extra stat bonuses. Alright, put this on the board. Kick this. Take action. So we have enough power and toughness with double Mirrored Construct to be able to double block Huntmaster. But are we still dead? Let's see. I'm trying to actually calculate the damage here. So this is going to be 18. So we don't even actually block all the damage doing this. Because that's 5, 10. So I think this is still our best blocks. Yeah, and we still dead. Just dead even. Oh, man. That was just the first strike phase. So we didn't even get to the second strike. That's Jetmir for you, though. Yeah, Rusho, it is rough. Unfortunately, our deck doesn't really have a way to answer Jetmir without just having the bounce spell in hand. So that way, after they go for their attack, we bounce Jetmir and punish them. Alright, we don't really have a whole lot here except for counter spells, and I can't even use this one for a while. How does this work? Whenever you cast an adventure spell, you may compute choose. Ugh. I do not like that. Well, we'll take the free mulligan here. Alright, this one I kind of like just because Stowaway. Luckily, we're on the play. Why didn't you come turn 1? That would have been great, because then I would have been able to... Well, we wouldn't have been able to hold up Spell Shield, but... would have been still nice. Hey there, Izzy. How are things going? Nice to see everyone starting to show up. Nice to hear that. I mean, I think I pointed people at you, so I don't know if any of our Discord members joined you, but I hope you continue to get that growth for your channel and everything. All right, we'll go for a Mystic to the board. We'll attack in. This is only going to be a draw discard here. Key the Archive. We will keep that. Um, gonna give up Skydiver, I think. Yeah, we'll give up Skydiver. Including yourself and the bots. How many bots do you have? I know you have like at least 2 bots. Because you have one of them that's the your music bot, and then you have the other one that likes to post the character of the day. And I accidentally let my opponent resolve that. Total of 4 bots. Okay. I got distracted. I should not let them resolve that. I can fix my mistake, but Time Warp's just too good. We'll give up the life gain. Attack in, try to find ourselves another land. We find the land. We'll give up the shell shield. But yeah, that means that you're definitely over 25 people. That's good to hear. You're definitely building. 7k gold saved up for the new set. All right. I take it you're looking forward to the new Dominaria stuff. All right, let's go ahead and attack in first. Disdainful Stroke. We'll discard that. 1, 2, 3. X2. Pass it back. I do the X amount that way because that way I'm able to hold up both Wash Away and Negate. I've been trying to save up my gold as well, but I did spend some because I was trying to make sure we had cards to make sure we crafted certain deck ideas. Like, Izzy, I do have your deck that you challenged me to make. I don't know how well it's going to work because I did do some testing. It's unfortunately awkward to play it, but it's the best I could think of based around the card you gave me. Halar, I believe is what it was called. See, there are some stuff I want, and I have opened a ton of Omnicat and haven't gotten the Apatra I want, so I decided to wait. Alright, going to spend the 1 blue. Counterspell that. The opponent's got their own counterspell, we have the negate. Choose new target opponent. No? Okay, we'll negate that. It stays in your graveyard. You made a very big error when you decided to let that go to the graveyard. We'll Time Warp. Take an extra turn. Incubation Druid to the board. Attack. Yep, and opponent scoops. You don't let your commander go to the graveyard unless you're absolutely certain you have a way to get it back. Sure, they had Bala Ged Recovery, but they were better off just letting that go back to their hand. Rooker in my Discord, the newest joiner, is a big fan of artisan builds. Oh, cool. I'll be honest, artisan builds are pretty fun. I like to build the build a budget deck, but if I'm trying to make them competitive for playing against non-artisan decks, I try to see about keeping if I'm like gonna include any rares to keep it to a minimum. Most of the time, the rares I include are just mana fixers. But, any case. Oh, let me show the deck idea here because I need to update it to the tournament real fast because I have to submit that before a certain time period. And I wanted to see if there was any changes I was going to make by doing these test games. So, one moment while I get this uploaded. Oh wait, I forgot. I need to hit the copy button outside. So, export. And here, we'll leave this on the screen for everyone to be able to read while I quickly get this set up. Oh yeah, Izzy, you're talking about things that you want to spend your challenge points on. There's actually a challenge me button that should be available for the challenge point redeem called Dual Challenge. I don't have any special like sound notifications for it yet, but I'll get those set up in the near future. Yeah, see, there you go. I'll like I said though, give me 1 second to accept your challenge. Need to okay, so that's there. Load there. And submit. Okay. So the deck has been submitted. Hooray. Sure, 1 second, Izzy. Alright. So, which format did you want to challenge me in? Let's see. Oh, that's right. Direct challenge. So, you can challenge me with this. I'll need your ID to also do the challenge back. Oh, okay, there we go. Let's see. But which format are we doing? I need to know what to select on here. You want to do Brawl? Sure, we can do Brawl. Some friendly Brawl. I wasn't sure if you wanted to play against the deck that you know, commissioned me to try to do. I say commission like you actually paid for it, but... Okay, well, we only have about 20 minutes until the event starts, but we can do a round of friendly Brawl. Yeah, I think once when the Dominaria set finishes releasing, I can make the kicker deck a little bit better. 1 to 9? 3. Okay, not 3? Alright. 6. We'll just double it then. Doubling down here. Alright, looks like we're against Sarkon the Fireblood from Izzy. Well, this is going to be an awkward hand, but I guess we'll keep it. I mean, it's not unplayable, it's just awkward because of this with our mana base. Bounce out Oracle, Treasure Hunt. Oh, okay, okay. Well, let's go ahead and quickly play our game before the tournament starts. Alright, so you're gonna lead off with a Treasure Vault against me, huh? And your turn. I know, so exciting over here right now. Fortunately, we didn't get a whole lot of our, you know, cards that make us go off quickly. Oh, really? You're running some Dragon's Approaches. Interesting. We'll go for a Narset to the board. We'll activate. And completely whiff on that. Here are a ton of spells that we can actually hit, but unfortunately we hit 0. Okay. You should have maybe played around the Narset there. Oh, wait, that's right. It's X2. Activate. I think I'll line up the shot. I imagine you plus for the mana now, right? Yep. Ooh, Inferno. Alright, you hit the Narset. We'll go ahead and attack. Hit your Sarkon. Your turn. Looks like you unfortunately missed the land drops there, but you did get lucky that you got your shaman. I'd rather not have to sacrifice or lose 5 life. So I'm gonna hit Counterspell. Alright, I'm going to add Plummet to my hand. Ooh, that's good. Gonna break your wings. And get Sarkhan off the board. At this point, I think you're in some trouble just because of your lack of land draws, but... Okay. What's this do again? Enters battlefield, draw a card, and then gives fire breathing. Okay. Alright. 1, 2, 3, 4. You have to exile how many copies? I may exile 4 copies. Sure. Alright. My turn. Go for the lands. See how much you can do this for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Be 9 damage. Yeah, let's play it safer. Go for another Broken Wings back to hand. Really keep you off the ability to play your flyers. Hit that with a counterspell. I unfortunately will have to pay 5 mana during my turn. Alright. Okay. You might not want to kill that, because it's now just going to come back bigger and badder than ever. Because this power and toughness, are like the amount of counters that come on, isn't based off the X. It's actually based off the mana spent. So, killing it now, I can bring it back as a, what is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And bring this back as a 9/9. 10/10. 10/10. Oh wait, I can't do X10. It's X6. There we go. Yep. Good luck. Fortunately, I'm actually a mana short from playing this, because the mana on this only works for green cards, I think. Oh no, it's just any creature. Okay, never mind. We can do that. And here's the fun part. I pulled 2 counters off my Verazol here. And I get myself 2 copies of this 8/8. And I'll keep Verazol on the board because it happens to be a serpent. Oh, that's right, they're both legendary. There's no reason to ever kick that, then. Actually, there is a reason, but it's a very slim and rare occurrence that I'll ever need to do that. Yep, and that's just good game there. Because we just destroy your flyer. The worst part is, this entire time I've been sitting on Return to Nature and could have destroyed your land. I was just trying to be nice and not do that. But good game there, Izzy. I hope you enjoyed the match. Unfortunately, you did get stuck on lands, which was unfortunate. And I happen to have... I drew almost all of my anti-flying cards. Well, I think you had a pretty strong start. The only problem was you just missed on your land draws. And that's really what put you behind. Unfortunately, the tournament's going to get started up in like 5 minutes or so. There's usually up to a 5-minute delay on the first match pairing, but if you would like to, I don't mind giving it another go. Would you like to see what we did with your deck challenge? Oh. What just happened? My chat just exploded, like it's gone. Sure. Okay. I mean, did you want to do that as a challenge where you play against it blind, or do you actually want to see what's in the deck? Because we can just do a challenge. And we just do it 60 card best of 1. Yep, that works. So blind, alright. Let me double check. Let's see. Yeah, so just like that, that'll work. And called it Kicking Halar. No, you can't quite do it like that. I sent the challenge, or at least I think I did. Looks like the challenge has been sent to you, Izzy. So I did challenge match, deck type 60 cards. So it can be any 60 card deck that you have that you can accept the challenge with. Or 60 card format, I should say. Oh, shoot. I need to find a better way. Do that. There we go. Did I accidentally nuke the chat again? Oh, I thought I did hit the play button. Sorry. That was my bad. I was trying to make sure all the things are set up properly on my side for other things, and I just forgot to hit the play button. Alright, on the open, I think I can keep this. Let's see how this works. Let's see, I'll just play this tapped and it'll be your turn. Roiling Vortex. So rude, is he? But then again, I mean, you're hitting yourself too, so. Let's see here. Pass it back. Hey there, Big Pearl. How you doing? Hope you're doing well. Torbrand. All right. Two counters here. So let's see. I have enough mana that I can play Pilar and kick a Roost. Unfortunately, I'm dead in like 2 turns thanks to this combo Roiling Vortex and Torbrand. Yep. And that's death to me already, I think, right? Because that's going to be 3... No, I go down to 1 life. Yep. And I can't do anything with that. Well, may as well kick it for fun. Not surviving my next upkeep. But may as well try to go out swinging. Well, yeah, it's mono red for you. I mean, I think they're trying to do mono red dwarves. Yeah, and Roiling Vortex and Torbrand is already just a really strong combo. And something that you run in mono red just to deny life gain decks, because it's the deck that usually beats mono red. Like, Roiling Vortex actually shuts down a lot of decks because of this. Whenever a player casts a spell, if no mana was spent, you can just deal 5 damage to them. But I hope you got to see that. It's like, the deck actually had some pretty good action over here. You just unfortunately had a really strong hand with Roiling Vortex Torbrand here. Yeah, because if I wanted to survive your attack to die my upkeep, I wouldn't have attacked with both, but... Just for vengeance. Mine easy. Oh, yeah? Well, I'll kill both your dwarf leaders. Vengeance is mine! I might be dead, but I took down both your leaders. Yeah, no, if I'd realized that you were going to Torbrand me, I would have actually brought down Halar. So that way I could have then kicked the Inscription of Abundance to kill off your Torbrand, but I honestly wasn't expecting Torbrand to come down. Did not play around the Torbrand. Alright. Currently, we are just waiting for the tournament to start up. By the way, well played there, Izzy. I mean, it was really well a good show of the dwarf action there. Like, he didn't really do a whole lot of like creature interaction on the early turns, but no. I mean, hey, I at least hopefully showed you how dangerous the kicker deck can be, as I still put a lot of pressure on you. But I'll just go over the deck idea that we're going to do one more time before we get started. So, the deck idea is we are playing Verazol, the Split Current. And the goal is we're just a bunch of ramp cards with some counterspell, bounce interaction, and a lot of cards focused on kicker. The reason why we go with a lot of the cards that we're doing is because the amount of +1/+1 counters that you put on this when it enters the battlefield is based off the mana we spent. So
new pairing received.
Oh, there's our pairings. Even if we end up with the card removed from the board and we have to recast it, the extra counters, it'll always get the same number of counters put on it for the amount of mana we put into it. So if we do X2, but we had to replay it once from outside for an extra 2 mana, it'll still get 6 counters put on it, because X2, the blue, the green, and the 2 extra. So that's why I think this will be a very strong card to try to play with. I'm curious to see how well we can do. Alright, let's see. Who are we playing against? We are against DaCrabs. Alright, it's a challenge match. Friendly Brawl. Oh, by the way, Izzy, yeah, if you'd like to, if you have a link to your deck list, that'd be cool to take a look at. Let's see. Thank you very much, Arusio. Let's hopefully see some interesting interaction from this deck. So that's the deck list there. Yeah, I did. We'll take a look at it in a second. Let's see. After we're done with the match, we'll go over your deck list, because I think we have to. I need to focus up here. So, DaCrabs is running Tatsunari enchantments. I think we have a keepable hand. It's nice that we have this in our opening hands. We have Return to Nature, we have Into the Royal, so we have a lot of good cards against Crabs. Alright, Crabs brainstorming over there. Alright, Crab's just gonna play a land pass. We'll do the same. Alright, we'll hit that with a Dissipate. Put the extra tax on it. Let's go for an X2. I was tempted to go for the stowaway, but I figure if the opponent destroys our current, it's going to be better for us to be able to resolve this after. Okay. So I held up into the Royal and returned to nature here. The only issue with Split Current is if I do into the Royal and bounce their things, he could still get a lot of value with the Setessan Champion. And we end up shrinking this, so that could always be an issue. We'll attempt to destroy Destiny Spinner, because it has the ability that we can't counter their creature or enchantment spells. So it shuts off a fair number of our cards, so best to get that off the board. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7. Going all in on this Stone Coil. Punch in the 1. Get a loot. Give up the Druid. Alright, Omen of the Sea. That's double card draw because it's the Setessan Champion. Now I'm curious what the Crabs does in response to our board state. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have up to 7 mana available to us. That means we can kick almost every spell in our deck. I think there's only one spell we can't kick, because I think that one costs 8. Alright, Crabs goes for Tatsunari back to the board. We can into the Royal, bounce both of them. Probably should not have put that land onto the board, because Suspicious Stowaway is going to make us discard whatever we draw now. And would have been better for us to have the land. But I wanted to get the land to the board, just in case our opponent had some kind of 1 blue counterspell interaction. Alright. Honestly, forgot Boseiju can hit that. Go ahead and grab this. We'll have this enter tapped. Alright, some card draw value. Ooh, I really like this on the board. Let's first send in some attacks. Ooh, I don't really want to give this up, but I think we give up Basilisk Collar. Go for Moon Druid. Yeah, that would have been smart. If I played the Moon Druid then did the attack, I wouldn't have had to worry about not having a land that I could just ditch. See, this probably never gets us the value we want. Let's go for a kick. Counters. Wait. Let me do this in the right order. Kick this. I'm trying to think how to do this. Kick. 2 counters, all modes. 2 counters. Gain life. There to there. Since I'm going to be pulling the counters off to duplicate the spell. 2 counters, gain life, there to there. Okay, so they counterspell the first one. Activate. Hit the blue mode. I don't know if he has any artifacts, so I'm going to hold on to this still. Now, Krabs has basically got a 6-turn clock due to his own enchantment. Thanks to Kenny coming to the board off of his next enchantment, he can extend his life because of the drain from invasion. But we still have this attacking unblocked. And we can still bring this down as just a simple 2/1 flyer. What's your move, Krabs? Alright, let's go ahead and attack first. I'm not going to send in the crocodile. I think there's just too much value Krabs can gain from being able to trade off Tatsunari with it. Do X2. Comes down to 6/6. Okay. Bring this to the board. Currently have 2 creatures that can't be blocked by Krabs. Krabs' life total only at 2 means either one of them can be lethal. Transformation does make it sound like the Krabs can now block Stowaway. ECD kills Skydiver. I should have actually attacked with this now I think about it. Because we could have transformed it back again into its blue form. So that might have been a mistake. Send the crocodile form. Kill the Kenny. trying to keep them off the drain plan. One, 4. So 1, 2, 3. Oh, I'm sorry. 1, 2. Yeah. No more counterspells, Crabs. Let this resolve. Okay, library. Now, I know Crabs can shuffle our hand and deck, but nor we end up getting a fresh hand for doing that. It might have still been better for us to just put it in the command zone since we still had enough mana to replay it a couple times. Thankfully, we actually end up losing our graveyard to the Nightmare before they get the ability to resurrect something from our graveyard. No blocks. Activate. Blue form. Tap. Tap down Tatsunari. Attack with both. Again, we kill the Kemi, right? No, I have to kill the zombie army this time. Because of how this is worded. If I didn't kill the zombie army, they could have put the 3+1/+1 counters onto the army and been able to just swing and gain 6 life. Definitely feel like I made a misplay earlier, besides putting this on top of our deck. Are you willing to do memory? Give us a fresh hand? Sure, you get to shuffle our commander away, but the thing is you don't know what you're going to deal with. Our biggest issue right now is actually if they level up the Warlock class. Because that's 9 damage. Does Crabs realize that they have lethal with that? It's possible if they overlook the Warlock class activate. Because if they do the Warlock class activate, we just lose right here. Yep. Alright, there we go. Good game. Yeah, I definitely made misplays earlier. Oh, man. Still shaking off whatever that was. We'll get him this time, though. It is a best of 3. Nope, that's not. Alright, so...
Round timer started.
Friendly Brawl. We win the coin flip. Alright, here comes Verazol. Or Verazol. I'm never sure how to pronounce this character's name. Alright. Ooh, this could be a good hand. A little worried about the mana on it, but we'll try this hand. The reason why I like this hand is because the Great Glass Spinner, whenever this becomes the target of a spell or ability first time, counter that spell or ability. So this will actually come in very valuable. By the way, just so we know, this does say whenever this becomes the target of a spell or ability, counter it for the first time. That's all abilities. That includes us targeting ourselves. So we have to keep that in mind. Alright, pass. Love it if Crabs just drop some type of green permanent to the board. That way we can go for the adversary here. Right. Do an X1. Go for the 3/3 body. Probably wasn't the best thing. Probably best to have held up Wash Up. Or Wash Away. Just to keep him off Tatsunari. But Crabs goes for the keep it off the board plan. Go for our adversary. How much removal is Crabs running here? Because Crabs does not like adversary being on board. Because adversary says that if we hit them, we draw a card, and it's a 2/3 Death Toucher. Okay, are you Cast Trigger or ETB? Cast. That's what I thought. Well, let's go for the attack first. Should have actually shocked this in play. Alright, I'm going to go for Kira. Let's see if this resolves. It does. So all of our creatures now basically have a spell shield to them. Alright. The Meatball Massacre. One, two, three, four, 5. Nissa. Untap. Get in for 3. Next turn, we try to go for Jin. Because Jin Gataxis allows us to deny their first artifact, instant, or sorcery spell. Doesn't do anything about the enchantments, but we know that, you know, he runs Infernal Grasp, he runs counter spells. Counter Tatsunari. Alright. Resolve. Got the counterspell out of their hand, so Jin should be able to get to the board easily enough. So, let's see. Play Jin. Play Timeless Witness. Add back Wash Away. Plus here. No attacks. So we have the ability to counterspell, saving the counterspell for only important cards at this point. That's not important. That can resolve. Now, Kenner's Transformation, that one is important. So we get 2 counterspells against the... The reason why this is important, it'll shut off Jin Kataxis' ability and just make it a 3/3 elk with no abilities. Alright. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So... Right? 1, 2... I'm not mathing well. That's right, that's right. Okay. Just the 3/3 forced. I'm wondering if it's too greedy trying to go for 1 more plus and then go for the minus. And Skeletal Swarming resolve. I rather it didn't. I don't know. I think we only get 1 card here. The other one won't resolve because we took away its target. And yeah, that's enough to send Crabs packing. Great. Whew. Alrighty. Made up for it in round 2. Alright. So, friendly Brawl. Opponent wins coin flip. Alright. All the marbles against Mr. Krabs here. Or DaCrabs. Let's see if we can do it. Sorry, yeah, we'll get to the dwarves after the tournament round here. Sorry about that, Izzy. How much does it cost to activate 3? I really want to try this hand just because I want to know how well Hadana's Climb actually works in this deck. So we will keep this. I'm very iffy about how these are going to work in our hand, but... Like, this early in the game, I don't like drawing them that early. Ooh, that's great, that's great. This allows us to go for Hadana's Climb next turn. Alright. Counter on the elf. So we can go X2, get a 4/4, climb, put counter on current. That will give us this as a land immediately. And this being a 5/5 means that it'd be a 10/10 flying striker. So we'll have him dead 3 turns after, if no interaction. Now, granted, we know Krabs does run a lot of spot removal, so I don't think that's going to necessarily work to immediately kill them. But it is going to pressure them to have answers. So X2. Climb. So we effectively have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mana. 6 mana. We're already almost at Jin Kataxis. We can set this up and actually play it the next turn. Or the turn after, I should say. Alright, Tatsunari to the board. Let's see. Lands. Activate. Swing 10. And we'll just foretell this. That's a lot of pressure that we're actually putting on. Considering this is, what, turn... That was our turn 4. Their turn 5. Now the question is, do we just go for Jin Kataxis? Because if we can get this to resolve and it doesn't get messed with, we can all runs and get 2 free turns. Now, I can think of a couple spells that Crabs can use that messes with Jin Kataxis play. See, just attack for 5. Go for Jin. I figure I'm fairly safe from most counter spells if rushing Jin. There is a small chance that, yep. As I say, the only counter spells that they can have are the spend 2 mana to make me pay 1 or, you know, a couple of extra mana, depending on which version of it is. And there's counterspell. Just straight up counterspell. By going for that, though, we do set up that we can all runs and hold up negate backup. Let's see, they're already at 6 cards. Next card that goes in the graveyard. Okay, so... What card are they getting? The land bounce. Okay. That actually already is something they can discard for just 2. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we can play this, but we can't kick it yet. Attack. Down to 6. Go for all runs. We have the counterspell magic, so if they try to counterspell this, we will kill them. If they go for the bounce, we won't. Unless we top deck the kicker land search spell. So what does Crabs do here? They let it resolve. They let it move to our turn. Let's see. If we activate this on the elf, it turns it into a 4/4, presenting still lethal. So... 1, 2, 3. If we do that, though, we won't be able to hold up Field Mystic or Memory Deluge. I think we just go to combat. Swing it out. We'll let him have the ability to block with Gloom Shrieker. And pass. At this point, we can now play Frill Mystic to counterspell and have Negate as a counterspell as well, giving us a lot more interaction options. With the discard? Cyber Siphoner? Okay, the Dark Ritual. Frill Mystic. Counterspell, Shark Typhoon. We still have Negate mana open. And we also have Memory Deluge available. If they are relying on jump blockers on the ground, we win because of the land. So 1, 2, 3, activate. Frilled Mystic. Good game for grabs. Oh, we get there. We got there. Whew. Oh man, I was worried he had some kind of answer. Alright, with that done, we'll go ahead and check out Izzy's.
New pairing received.
Oh, new pairing received already? Everyone was waiting on us? Oh, sorry, Izzy. Well, here, let me see if I can quickly go over your deck. Let's see. Copy. Alright. Yeah, no, I unfortunately can't let the people in the tournament wait to go over your deck, Izzy. We'll catch it the moment we have a break here. I thought we were going at a pretty good pace, but I guess we were still just slower than the other people. Alright, so we're against Heretical. Friendly Brawl, best of one, coin flip. And here we go. Yeah, considering my opponent did message me, like, saying, hello, good luck, have fun, I don't want to make them wait, so... I do apologize, Izzy. We will get to it, I swear. We'll go over your awesome dwarf build. Alright. On the open, we're against a Clement. I think I'm good to keep this one. I just have to hope we're not against the Clement that's board white, not deck. Because we saw that one time before, and it was annoying. If you want to see the fastest game ever, I could have just used the Pact and Negation there and just killed ourselves. Let's see, what does this do on red again? Whenever this takes damage, deal that much damage to any target. Alright. Ooh, that's dangerous. Let's go ahead and bring out Moon Druid. Moon Druid just is amazing because it allows us to get a land, but also, if we transform this, we can go to blue, keep one of their cards tapped. This is just such a strong card because it's 3 mana, 2/2 double strike base. That's already some pretty good stats. But if it happens to attack, like a samurai attacks alone, you get to draft cards. Alright. We're going to take a big hit. There's no denying that. Alright. Put this down. Get that revealed. Why can't I... Oh, I have to meet the land requirements, that's right. In which case, Bubble Snare, keep you tied down. Adonis Climb, counter on Druid. We can use Pact and Negation. No, we can't. We need one more turn to be able to use Pact and Negation. Oh, jeez, Firebrand. That's enough to push lethal, isn't it? Because, let's see, other creatures you control get +1/+0. You transform that into that, so I have to block here to block the most damage, but we're still just dead. Yep. Man, they came out the gates swinging hard. Alright. So, they are definitely super aggro. Alright, now we know what they're doing. I'll have to play a little differently than I've been playing some of these other matches. Heretical. We win the coin flip. Most of the time when I've been testing the deck, we're against decks that I could like take time to just bring this to the board. I might just have to bring it to the board like right away. I like this because we have the wash away. I think we'll still take the keep here. We're missing green sources in general, but we do have Skyclave Relic to serve as a green source. Alright, Ronin, that's okay. Basically, you get a shock spell played against us. We use Wash Away once when they go for their commander. Tax it by 2. It never touches the board, so the things in their hand don't grow yet. Go for the Relic. Pass it back. Relic is just so great for us just because it's got indestructible, making it so there's very little that our opponent can do to interact with it. How'd you work again? This is when it dies, you seek a card, then it gains must be sacrificed. Try to think what's our best play here. One, 2, 3, that's a 5. Yeah, I think we just go for the 5/5 body. Yep. I did not want to let that get onto the board, but I didn't feel like I had much choice. Pass it back to the opponent. We can use Denial if we feel like they are playing something I'm worried about. Block Robber, because I'm worried about them actually being able to steal stuff with that later. Okay. I know what they're going to do. They're going to bounce Clement, then they're going to try to replay Clement. I'm going to deny Clement. Oh, jeez. We are unfortunately just suffering for another green source here. Play on the defense. The Great Glass Spinner's really good for us because we are able to keep the opponent off of targeted removal. Alright, so they get to seek a card. That must be sacrificed at the end step if they bring it to the board. It does get a mana cost reduction, and it also gains haste. Virtuoso is dangerous. Not too worried about Ginger Brute, but it can be dangerous also. Alright, we're gonna go big on this. Pass it back. We have Pact Negation, be able to counterspell anything our opponent plays. That's dangerous, but that's fine. They actually could have ninjutsu'd that in with Ginger Brute. Nah, I guess they were short of mana. Why can't I get another green mana source? I mean, at least I can use Karn's Bastion here, slowly tick up, but we're still just need another green source. Battery, okay. Oh, that's what they got from the Trap Finder. I think it still have to be sacrificed, so that's fine. We can block it with the Curtain. Okay. Because when Curtain dies, we can just replay it, get its large body back. So block here, activate to proliferate. We lose current here, but we can replay it. I would love it if we just get that green source. Why?
Round timer started.
Alright. This back to the board. I'm going to start attacking with this in the air since we're not really using it to block. I can use this to gain life, but I really want to get one more green so I can play it for ultimate value here. That's fine. Alright. Channel discarding it. Thraben Inspector, okay. Blink of an Eye allows us to bounce two things. So let's go ahead. So if we attack like so, we can hold up Blink in the Eye and Tail's End. Let's see what they do. Tail's End. Keep them from being able to resolve that, so that way I don't have to worry about them pumping more cards in their hand. They didn't pay for that, so we're going to get the block there. And we will take action and bounce both of these. There's our green source. We can finally win. Because we actually go for lethal right now, I think, right? Let's see. Let me double check. No, I can't because of the... how this card works. So... Nissa. Alright, that was enough to send them packing. Alright. I did forget about that little bit of an issue with our deck. That I can't use Inscription of Abundance and, you know, use all modes. Or even, like, I can't do the +1/+1 counter mode or the fight mode. Because this will counter it. So I'm better off using this and just gaining myself like 14 life still off of using the kick. But it didn't matter. We managed to successfully get the win there. Oh man, I'm so glad I remembered before I punted it there what that card was going to do to me. Alright, so, yes, challenge match. Friendly Brawl. Opponent wins the coin flip. Whew. Alright. I think I'll keep this. We don't have any interaction immediately against the opponent. Ooh, that's interaction. But I was thinking about the fact that we have the Druid for ramp and we have Stowaway. Alright. Druid to board. Trap Finder, not worried about. That one I'm worried about. No blocks. Let's get Moon Druid to board. No attacks. Oh no, not another Bolt Hound. Oh man, this kind of ruined us last time. I'm gonna have to take the hit. Alright, so let's see. If we go for this, we play this X4. We play this Bounce Bounce. That's probably our best play. The fact that they got another, like, time where they got to play a double striker with a Bolt Hound just does so much damage. I didn't want to kill the Clement with the trade because I figured I was going to be bouncing. I didn't want to just make them better. No blocks. Oh, jeez. It's going to hurt so much. Alright, opponent's turn. So we're going to lose some things in sacrificial blocks here. Because they come out with the Bolt Hound, they go swinging. Go for a block here, go for a block there. And we will block Let's see, can we afford to take that? 3... No, we have to block. Jeez. Yeah, it's the silly Bolt Hounds with the double strikers. The fact that they hit 2 double strikers and that they both got the buff from Clement makes it just too hard to deal with. So even if I go Royal Mage and Stowaway just to create blockers, it's not going to be enough. Yeah. Unfortunate. Well, we'll take down the Geist with us, and we'll take down the Trap Finder. Ah, that's... What is with the consistency on their draw, though? That's 2 of the games where they got a Bolt Hound. And I think they saw this Goblin in all 3 games. Virtuoso in 2 of the games. It's like, it's a 100-card deck. What was that consistency? Oh well. That's the way it goes sometimes. Alright, so we have managed to actually hit that break between the games, so we'll go over Izzy's Dwarf deck. Sorry that it took us so long to be able to get to it, Izzy, but the tournament unfortunately does have to take priority. But let's see. Okay, so sorry, the person wanted to chat a little bit, and we're seeing how they think the card that they use is being overlooked, and they think it's insane. And I do think that is a very strong commander, and hasn't been seeing a whole lot of play. But where it does see play, it does do well. All right, so let me find my controller. All right. So here we go. We have the Dwarf deck right here that Izzy was running. And it looks like they were doing a Magda 7 Dwarves Tourbrand deck. So they were trying to use the Mirror Box and Helm the Host. So it is a bit of a meme deck, but we happen to see them just get a really nut draw because they managed to get Tourbrand with the 2 Roiling Vortexes going. And since we didn't draw an answer to it, it killed us really fast. Now, I'll be honest, I know why you're using improvised weaponry, because you're looking for the treasure token to make sure you can ramp out, because you have expensive cards, so it makes sense. The only concern I have is probably that, let's see. Yeah, I mean, the only concern is that the weaponry is just a bit of a slow removal option, but considering what you're doing, because I see the Strike It Rich and weaponry, it makes sense because you're trying to use this Helm of the Host, create copies of either Magda or Tourbrand, get this great value. And with Mirror Box and 7 Dwarves, that is an insane amount of pump, because these get +1/+1 for each other 7 Dwarves they see, and this basically does the same thing for them. So it's a cool deck idea. I mean, I don't think that this one will be topping any major tournaments, but it does seem like just some pure simple fun with doors. The reason why I just don't think will top tournaments is because some of these cards are just a bit slow, and for consistency's sake, Helm of the Host would be a card that you probably can't really run. But yeah, no, it's a cool deck. How's the luck that you've been having with this? I mean, it looks like it does run into snags because of the pacing it has. It looks like it wants to be aggro, but it's unfortunately also looks like it's trying to be a combo. Like it's Embercleave is a great card, but your number of doors that you have is really reliant on 7 doors being like on the board so that we can hit Embercleave here if you ever plan on using it. Your other way to get dwarves is off Dwarven Mine, which requires you have to have 3 or more other mountains. See, are there any other good red dwarfs? I don't think there's any in standard right now, at least. When rotation happens, unfortunately, let's see. I mean, this isn't standard anyway, so this is actually would be explore. If that's the case, try to think like what other cards might be out there that you could potentially add to the deck. There's actually some new dwarfs coming out in Dominaria that could be cool. Oh. That sounded like the tournament ping. Give me 1 second while I check on that. Oh, okay, that was them just responding to my last comment. Alright, still about 30 minutes in the round here. But when it comes to Dominaria United, I think there are going to be some new doors. That'd be kind of cool to run. Actually, we do get a really cool dwarf that's coming out. Let me pull that one up. Let's see. Where did I put the... There it is. So, I mean, if we're looking at new dwarfs, I think this dwarf right here actually is strong enough that it could push itself into the formats besides standard, because it is a 2-drop 1/2 with trample that whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, you get to put a +1/+1 counter on it. That means that it's basically has pseudo prowess where it only triggers off instants and sorceries, but it's +1/+1 counters not until in the turn buffs. So this thing will steadily just get stronger and stronger and stronger as you go. But not only that, the card is only a 2-drop and comes with trample to go with it. So I think this is going to be one of those uncommons. It may be a little too awkward for the modern format because what they already have in their decks is pretty like hard list.